Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. Now you'll know what the video's about based on the title and thumbnail, and welcome back to all of you my wise followers who support me here. So grateful for your support, and I'm grateful to all of you who follow me here. You're helping the channel grow, and I'm hoping I'm inspiring you, helping you. And as always, what I encourage you to do is always think for yourself. If I give you information, always ask why, and always do your own research, and always trust your intuition. So those would be my sort of and always work on loving yourself and personal growth. So those would be my 5 principles, and what I encourage you all who follow me here to do. And today again, this is a thinking video, so get a journal. You can get a book, use your Book of Shadows journal, a piece of paper, and write down, am I living the wrong life? Right? So you're asking yourself a question, am I living the wrong life? And then what you're going to do before you write the answer is you're going to meditate on that. So you're going to sit your Book of Shadows, notepad, on your altar, sacred space, or even that piece of paper, and you're just going to meditate on it. And then your heart, soul, and gut know the answer, so you're going to write down the answer. Now, obviously, when people say, like, I can't tell you if you're living the right life or the wrong life, only you can tell yourself that. But I think when we talk about living the right life, it's living a life that makes you happy, joyful, a life where you love yourself, you're reaching your full potential, and you feel empowered in your life, and you feel like the way everyone is in control of their life. Everyone. In the Western world, we have so much control, so much freedom. And the universe has given us that freedom of will, and freedom of will is a powerful thing. No one can take that away from you. You can't control your story began in life, who your family are, but you can control how your story ends or how your story will evolve. And through life, our story is constantly evolving. Every single day is a new opportunity, a new day of blessings, and a new day to start over. That is what every day is. And every action, decision you make is shaping your life, shaping your story. But I do think there's some signs. So today I'm going to talk about signs that you're living the wrong life. So number 1 is self-hatred, but you hate yourself. And again, self-hatred manifests itself in many ways. You could be a good person. I was a good person. Still am. There's both light and dark within me, but I always choose to be good, to help others, to be kind, compassionate as well. And self-love is all like, in order to treat others good, you've got to treat yourself good. And I always treat others the way I'd like to be treated. And sometimes you receive that energy back, but it doesn't always go that way. And we'll talk about that in a later video as well. But when you hate yourself, that can manifest itself in different ways. You could hurt yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. You could be doing a lot of things that are harmful for your mental health and well-being without realizing it, because you don't love yourself, you don't understand your worth, your importance. But every single person on this planet is important, is unique. No one's better than anyone else. No one else is less. But each and every one of us came into this reincarnation, this lifetime, for a reason, for a calling, to make a difference, to learn lessons. And I'd say each of us came into this reincarnation to help others, to help the community, to help the world in some way, and to help others as well. And also you could, if you've people who might follow a more Christian tradition, but rather, God to me is like an onion, many layers, many names, but still one divinity. But rather, God, source, the universe, and to me, universe is just another word for God. But the universe itself, you have a calling in this purpose in this universe. You are important. You were born different to make a difference. But when you don't love yourself, you don't understand your unique value, your unique worth. And some people, they hate themselves. So not only are they hurting themselves, but they're hurting others out of jealousy, out of enviness, out of comparing themselves to others. Some people, they really hate themselves, but rather than dealing with that properly, they take their frustrations and emotions out on others. So self self-hatred is a very bad place to be, and it draws you down to so many dark places. And then when you hate yourself, another sign is you try and please everyone. And I used to be a people pleaser, I'd deny my beliefs, my values. I would agree with people. Like, even though my heart, my soul, I disagreed with them, I'd just agree with them to make them happy. And sometimes, like, when you've had a lot of trauma, a lot of issues, you break out of that. And time to time, there may be some events that are challenging you, but you might find it, but are bringing up past traumas. And there's healthy ways to deal with that as well. And time to time, sometimes I will do things to please others, even though I know I shouldn't. But self-love is a journey. It's not perfect. It's working yourself. It's learning to say no. It's learning to better yourself. But when you don't love yourself, you try and please everyone. You put up with things you shouldn't. And the best thing is, when you get stabbed in the back, it's a blessing in disguise, because it's like these people knew, but you didn't love yourself. They knew they hate you. They knew that you were too kind for your own good, and they knew that you didn't respect yourself. So, and that's why they took advantage of you and took you for a mug. And when you don't love yourself, you're going to do this. You're going to try and make everyone happy. You can't make everyone happy. You also can't help everyone. But help is an interesting word, because it doesn't mean you're doing the work for someone. It means you give them the tools to help themselves. And Goddess Hecate told me this one night. I was meditating with Goddess Hecate, and she said to me, "Nicholas, I can't help you, my child. I can give you the tools to help yourself. And I want you to help yourself, to better yourself, to love yourself, because only you can help yourself. And everyone else on this planet you speak to gives you advice. They're simply giving you the tools to help yourself, as am I, my child." And it was just a beautiful meditation, what I've wrote down, and it was a wonderful experience as well. And Hecate's really brought me out of my comfort zone, my shelter, and spirituality as well. And then the third thing is you feel an emptiness inside, a void. And a lot of people in life, this is how people can become addicted to anything, because when you don't love yourself, you tend to handle things the wrong way. When you're not spiritually awake, you don't handle things the right way. When you don't love yourself, you don't handle the things the right way. You don't. And to me, self-love is like being mindful, like, when you love yourself, you go, right, what do I need? What's going to benefit my mental health? And if you're good in the mind, what's going to benefit your physical health, but your soul? So it's trying to find that mind, body, soul balance. Because if the mind's disturbed, the body usually is. And everything starts in the mind, because the mind is a key to so many things. But everything starts there. And it's just finding out what balance you need. And self-love teaches you, and spirituality teaches you to find balance in your life, and to do things that are going to serve you. And self-love also teaches you that you are great, you're amazing, that you've got so much hidden potential inside of you, but you don't need anything. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need anything. Everything you need is inside of you. But when you hate yourself and you're not spiritually awake, you don't see your worth. You don't see your unique value. And people try and fill this with food, with buying material things, with people try and fill it with all types of addiction. And number 4 would be a really bad sign, would be and usually if there's that emptiness there are some type of addiction, which you've got an addiction controlling you, and you can't live a happy, good life. And that is my thoughts. And if someone had a different thought, I would respect their opinion, but I wouldn't agree. And to me, you can't have a happy, good and successful life when you've got an addiction, because that addiction is going to weigh, it controls you. You're a prisoner in life. Your mind's trapped, because you can't enjoy the present moment. If you've got an addiction, you cannot enjoy the present moment. And And I don't look down with people with addictions because I understand they don't love themselves, they're empty, they're not in a good place, and they've got a lot of issues, a lot of stress, and they're choosing to deal with that in the wrong way. Like a lot of people, I've said it myself, or like there might be a very hostile, difficult situation, and you go, oh, where's the drink, where's the vodka? But that's not the answer. Might be the answer there and then because it brings you a bit of relief, you feel good. But the best thing in life is not to numb that, not to, the problem's not going to be fixed with alcohol, with drugs, with food. You've just got to go, there's a problem here, what's the best way to deal with it? Face that problem head on. And any obstacle in life can be overcome. But sometimes in life presents you with really big challenges, really big obstacles, and you've got a problem. So people drink, they take drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be, to deal with that problem there in the moment. But when you wake up, you've got even more problems. And people might say their addiction, they're not hurting anyone, but that's usually not true because some people with an addiction, they can afford to keep their addiction going. So they might not have to steal or do anything unspeakable. They might not be hurting anyone, so they've got the money to keep that addiction going. But more often not, if someone's got a drug addiction, all their money goes in that particular substance, and then they do steal from their children, their family, because nothing else matters. They can't enjoy the simple moments as well. They can't just sit and watch TV and have some nice food, or even just drink a cup of tea and read a good book or watch a good movie. The addiction always comes first. And to me, when you're living the wrong life, if you've got an addiction controlling you, weighing you down, and also your number 5 would be when you've not got strong boundaries in place. You've not got strong boundaries, because part of loving yourself is telling people what are you comfortable with, what are you not comfortable with. That is part of self-love. And I love when people tell me what they're comfortable with, what they're not, and I do my best. I'll never, if someone says, Nicholas, don't say that, or I'm uncomfortable with this, please don't say that, I won't. And I'll respect that person because I have my own boundaries, and if someone, I make those boundaries known to people, and if they overstep the mark intentionally, then I would never want to be a part of that person's life again, and I'd just ignore them. And it's hard. Self-love is hard because it's letting go of negative people. It's letting go of things that are not good for your mental, emotional, and physical health. And it's learning to say no. None of us like to say no. Like, as someone who used to be a people pleaser, none of us like to say no, I'm not comfortable with that, or no, I don't want to do that. A lot of us, but you've got to learn to say no to things you're uncomfortable with and set strong boundaries, because by doing that, you're protecting yourself as well. And I'd say those are some signs, but you're not, those 5 signs are a start, but you're not living the right life. Like, you hate yourself, you're trying to please everyone, you've got an emptiness inside, a void, you've got an addiction controlling you. It could be a bad habit, an addiction, and also you've not got strong boundaries in place to protect yourself. And self-love it's not a miracle cure, self-love, but the opposite to self-hatred is self-love. And just like if you love someone, you wouldn't, like if you had a child and they had a drug addiction or that, you would do what you could. You would want that child to go, you would rather than shout them or judge them, because that's not going to help, you would try and treat that person with love and understanding and get them the help they need to change themselves for themselves. Because there's lots of people there's even a good Christian person I spoke to who did have some addiction problems, but they did say it's like having 2 feet in both waters. That for him, like, he loved Jesus, he loved the Catholic religion, that, and I would say he was I think a reborn again Christian or that, but at the end of the day, Christianity was the right path for him. He loved Jesus, and that path made him happy. But you see, and that path made him happy. And to me, it's enlightenment. But you can't, and he did say, like, because I've got this addiction, but I also believe and I love Jesus, I've got my feet in both waters. And you live in the wrong life, because I would say if your feet are in both waters, that's not a good place to be, because spirituality is meant to better yourself, help you find wisdom, knowledge, and feel free. And like, when you've got an addiction, something's got power over you. You know, you can't say no to that thing. It's not that you can't. It's very difficult, very hard. It feels so impossible to say no to that thing what you know isn't good for your mind, body, soul. And also, a lot of things, they are hallucinogenic, natural hallucinogenic herbs and drugs that are used by shamans today, and I'm all in favour of that, because it's done with a different intention. And intention in life is the most important thing, because if people go and get a mushroom ceremony, or when they drink that mushroom tea or go to the mushroom ceremony, they're doing it to have a spiritual awakening. And magic mushrooms, if done properly, does open your third eye, can help you, bring you into a trance-like state as well. And there's a lot of other natural plants which shamans have used for thousands of years to bring people into altered states of consciousness. But it's done for that reason. It's done for a spiritual reason. Whereas people, if they take drugs to get high, or to numb a problem, an emotional problem that's in the mind, that is not a good intention, and it's not a good thing, because eventually you're doing something that's not going to bring you any enlightenment. And love, self-love, spiritual enlightenment is the way to go forward in life. And I truly believe that. And I've even spoke to atheistic practitioners, but just understanding what everything's energy. And every thought you've got is an energy. Every word we speak has got a vibration to it as well. And as always, with this video, these are just some signs that you can go over. And it's always important to ask yourself and think for yourself, am I living the wrong life? What's the answer to that? And if you do think you're living the wrong life, ask yourself, why am I living the wrong life? What am I holding on to? What's holding me back? And always trust your intuition. However, until next time, have a great day. As always, this is me just giving you some food for thought and some inspiration as well. So until next time, may part, meet again. Blessed be.